Good afternoon and welcome to the weekend briefing. I'm your host Matt. We'll have a quick look through some of the stories that I want to discuss shortly, but obviously with the recent bad weather that we've had, I think we should head over to our great weatherman who's out and about to show you some great scenery actually in this segment. If you could just hit the subscribe button, that'd be great as well, and all the notification buttons, give this a little like, that'd be great. Without any further ado, over to you Matt, the weatherman who's out at Marazion, I believe.
Thank you, Matt. As you can see, I'm taking you down to Marazion today. This is a small fishing town in Cornwall. It is actually vying for city status, and if it does get it, will become the smallest city in the UK. I'm not sure how the locals feel about it. I don't think they're too happy. But you can see behind me there, that's actually St Michael's Mount. You can actually access it now while the tide is down. There is actually a path what people used to do as like the pilgrims back in the day. I think they still do it now. And as you can see, just there is the actual boat when the tide is high that they use to get the people that do live on the islands to and fro when the tide's up. Anyway, back to the weather. As you can see, we have actually had a lot of blue skies. You can see in the distance it's moving away from us now, and from the west there we're getting rain clouds come in. Now we expect a lot of the rain to really move in from the west tonight and spread across the country eastward. We are still getting some gusts here from around about 50 to 60 mile an hour, but nothing like yesterday, where some places did reach 120. Obviously, we'll watch this go back in there. It's quite fun to watch this one go. As you can see there, it's going to have to. It's quite shallow here. It does stay quite shallow, even at high tide. You can, wade out to waist height quite far. It's quite cool to watch the boat go out there. As you can see, yeah, like you say, the rain is going to move in from the west and get heavier throughout the night tide, moving to the east. Obviously up in high ground you are going to get a snow shower and obviously a lot of ice and stuff, so just do take care there. Obviously I know there's still a lot of people without power. Hopefully everyone will be back in some kind of power and some very soon. Anyway guys, what we'll do there is the boat's just gone back in. I think we'll leave the weather report there for today and we shall head back to the studio. Back to you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt. That was brilliant. Absolutely amazing views there, and it was good to see the boat heading back in there. Obviously, I know for some of you that was quite difficult to hear near the end of that, so we do apologise for anyone that did manage to hear what he was saying there. Anyway, back to what I would like to actually discuss for the rest of this show. Really, I think what we'll start off with is a little bit on Alex Belfield, because obviously I know for a lot of you, YouTube hasn't been the same this week as for myself. Without the content of Alex, because it's something that I enjoy daily. He used to put out quite a lot of content each and every day, and yeah, some of it was not to everyone's taste, granted, and I'm one of them, but what I did enjoy was some of the real tasteful stuff. I think he was really brilliant at, and I know that, and unless he decides to come back, I know he's coming back in some form on other shows, but I know that unfortunately for people like me, he will be missed from YouTube, and that content I really think was really, really good, and I really, really hope all the best for him in whatever he's going to do next. I know a lot of people, don't. There's been a lot of hate videos going out on that, and that's fine. I just don't understand how much you can hate someone that you have to make all those videos. That's up to you. I don't find that hate really achieves much other than your own self-pity, so be it. For those people that want to do that, that is entirely up to you. That's your prerogative. But as for me, I really liked his stuff. I'm going to miss it. I probably will watch some of the other stuff that he's got going on other YouTube channels, which I think will be quite actually interesting. I think we're really going to get a bit more professional Alex Belfield, which is probably what he was used to, really. A little bit more polished, which I think a lot of us will probably enjoy anyway. And I know for some of the people that, in the time that we're currently in, even the small amount that he asked for, it is a little bit too much for people. So, for those people, I know it's probably a little bit difficult for you guys, and you probably feel a little bit bitter about him, and I can understand that. And I know people have been donating money to him and supporting him, and you know what, I think people should do that if they want to do that, but you must remember you should only give what you can afford. You should never ever give money that you cannot afford. That would just be really putting yourself out, and you should never do that for anyone. You should never do that for anyone. You should only ever donate what you can afford. Right, I think really, I'll probably get a lot of hate there. Let me know your thoughts on the bottom. For those that do like him, how have you found YouTube this week? What sort of content are you watching? And you know, what's your feeling on maybe paying for the paywall? Do you think it's worth it? And will you be following on any other channels? Right, I think we'll probably leave the Alex Belfield conversation there for a minute. We might come back to that at the end of the show. We'll just see how we do for timing. The next thing I really want to talk about, and I think this affects a lot of people all around the world, and there's some crazy stuff going on. So I just want to really understand what people's thoughts are. With the recent amount of COVID restrictions around the world, they all seem to be coming to an end in quite a lot of countries. They're not requesting hardly any passes or anything. There may be tests nowadays. Some countries aren't even requesting that. Some people are paying for tests and not even receiving the answers and still going on holiday. I've heard that from some people that I know. So what I'm trying to ask here is, one, wherever you are now, what sort of COVID restrictions are still in place, and how do you feel about that? I mean, over in the UK, we're sort of coming to the end of most restrictions. Even in Wales and stuff, they're starting to stop and ease up on restrictions. I'm not sure in Scotland. Nicola Sturgeon, I find her, she's using this to show her power, if that's what you call it. I think it's very weak, and I really don't believe that the Scottish people, not all of the Scottish people, want this anyway, or wanted that, and certainly didn't want the same restrictions or different restrictions than the rest of the UK. But that's not for me to get into. That's up to you guys. So really, in the comments below, just let me know where you are now and what restrictions there are there and how you feel about them, because it'd be interesting to see. Because obviously, with restrictions dropping all over the place, why are some places like Canada, I think maybe even the Netherlands, why are they still having real strong restrictions? And what science are they actually following? Because if they're all following the same sort of science, which we were led to believe at the beginning, that every single country was following the same science, then why are there differences between what they're doing now with the easing of restrictions, considering all the science leads to the same conclusion? Is it weakness? Is it just sheer, these leaders are scared that they don't want to be held responsible for being reckless with people's lives? Maybe that is the main reason behind it, and I can understand that if that is the case. But I think you've got to look really hard at how you're damaging life on the other side of that, and I don't think enough attention has been paid to that. But please let me know your thoughts at the bottom if you feel the same about that. I just find it really difficult. I do salute all the people in Canada. In Australia, I know I've got a lot of a couple of fans messaging me from Australia. So, and I know you guys have also had it hard. I've not had anyone from New Zealand. If you are watching from New Zealand, please let me know, because you guys have also had it quite difficult, and I still believe you still are. And even though she puts in these crazy restrictions, she still can't stop the inevitable from happening, which is a virus can travel across borders, even if you are an island. Believe it or not, this virus can probably travel in between animals. It certainly has shown that in the past. So, it's just, I think we just need to be a bit more realistic on what people really need in the world at the moment. I think it's been a difficult time. Let me know if you had a difficult time, and obviously, I understand it's not been easy for everyone. I'll be honest with you, I run my own business. I'm pretty independent. So, I try and be as independent from my government as possible. Even if I vote for them, I still try and be as independent from them as possible. I didn't like any of this control. However, at the beginning, I think we all done what was right, what we thought was right. But I think as we get on, I think we'll realise that maybe that was the wrong thing to do. But, I think only time will tell on that. Let's not make any assumptions until we've got all the hard data in, which could be years. We might even be 10 years, 20 years. Some of us might be gone before we get the answers we truly want about COVID and the origins and actually everything to do with it. You know, it would just be interesting to see what ends up really. And I think the last thing we'll finish with today, because I don't want to make it too long for you guys, is Russia. Obviously, tensions are constantly rising. Biden, the super guesser, I mean, does he actually get anything right, this guy? I mean, he constantly says something's going to happen, it never happens. Maybe he's just confused from a different time, I don't know. Maybe he's thinking about something happened years ago, I'm not too sure. But I think it's all, like I said before in many of my other videos, it's plagiarism. I can't even say it properly, forgive me. You know, I think these leaders are basically trying to up their ratings. I think a lot of them have struggled. I think they're going to find it a very difficult in the next elections for all of them, considering the amount of freedoms they've taken away from their own people. Me here in the UK, you know, it's hard because I like Boris, but I disagree with the green revolution that he's trying to enact on us. I'm all for saving the planet. Please, you know, I will, but it's got to be done together. We need to show that we are going to lead it, but let's not make it difficult for the people living in this country, because I think we've already had a difficult time. Let's make it as easy as possible for us to live, to generate more wealth that we can share with the world. I think that's a much more positive way of doing it. And when we've reached that goal, I think then we can really start to invest money in these super green agendas. But at the moment, this is not the time to be doing it. We are skint. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. It doesn't matter how much money you've got. Everyone will be feeling it. Even millionaires will be feeling it, because they'll be thinking, oh, I can't earn this much money this year because of so and so. It doesn't matter how much money you've got. People will be feeling it up and down the country and all around the world. This is going to affect people for many years to come. So, you know, and if you do agree with me, please let me know your thoughts down below. I'd just like to say, back to the Russia thing, I do think that, you know, these people in Russia now, that, you know, Russia itself, I don't believe it. I just believe it's just a show, really. And I think, you know, people like Boris and Biden are going to hope that they're going to come out as these glorious leaders. I'm not too sure. And please, if you're a Labour person thinking, oh, this guy's slagging off, I'm not slagging off Conservative. I voted for them last time. I honestly believe that Labour will never get a chance, or not for a very, very long time in this country, to hold power, purely because of the way that they treated the electorates and the electorates in the Brexit referendum. You know, a lot of people will feel bitter for that, and I don't think they could ever let that go. I'm sure a lot of people up in the red seats up in the north there that turn blue feel that way. But again, you know, me as someone who voted Conservative, I'm not loyal to conservatism. I'm not loyal to the Conservative Party. In fact, you know, the way things are going at the moment, I'm looking for a new party. I want something completely new in this country. I don't want any of the mainstream parties anymore. I want a fresh new outlook. I think now's the time, considering what we've gone through. And I think we should all, you know, take a look at what we really want as a country, as a nation, as a world even. You know, this is a perfect time to make change. And I know that some of the conspiracists out there would be like, you know, it sounds like a new world order. But in a sense, you're probably right. But let's not let them have it their way. Let's let them have it our way. Because I think with enough people power, we can uphold our freedoms and we can live in a better society for everyone. Please let me know what you feel. If you've watched this all the way through, then I admire you, because it's a little bit longer than I would have done. But I'm not going to upload anything tomorrow because I want a day off. So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed yourselves, and I hope you all have a good weekend. And I shall see you on Monday. Bye.